everyone. This is Nikhil Deulkar, Senior Product Line Manager for Monza at Impinj speaking. And on behalf of all of us here at Impinj and Taxas, I would like to welcome you to today's webinar. Joining me today is Christophe Loussert, Vice President of RFID Integration at Taxas, and Bruno Cavon, their Vice President of Sales. And we'll be talking about their new ultra-small MuTRAK and AK tags that are powered by the Impinj Monza 5 chips. We're expecting to spend about 30 minutes on the presentation and question and answers. So before we begin today's call, I would like to remind you that we will be addressing all questions at the end of the presentation. If you look at the right side of your screen, you will see a question and answer box. If at any time you have a question during the presentation, please enter it in the box, and I will address it at the end of the call. Now, we do have a lot of people joining us today, so if for any reason we are unable to answer your question during the call, we'll follow up with you offline. All right, now I'd like to go ahead and get started. For those of you who don't know Impinj, let me start off by describing the company and our products. Impinj is a leading provider of UHF RFID products. We have three primary product families: Monza, Indy, and Speedway. Impinj Monza tag chips are the highest selling UHF RFID tag chips on the market. Our Indy reader chips power most of the UHF RFID reader devices today, and our Speedway readers are also the most widely deployed UHF fixed readers. As a result, we have a very unique position in this industry, and it enables us to bring exciting new innovations to the market. These new innovations can create opportunities for our end users as well as for our channel partners. Taxas and Impinj have been close partners for several years now, and today we'll discuss how our innovation and our close partnership has resulted in the revolutionary MuTRAK and AK RFID tags. At the heart of these new tags from Taxas is the Impinj Monza 5 tag chip. We designed this chip from the ground up by taking into consideration the needs of the fast-growing item-level tagging applications. Such applications demand high performance both when doing inventory as well as during encoding of the tags. And Monza 5 excels in both thanks to some of its unique features. Monza 5 delivers great read performance, which is critical because the market continues to demand longer read ranges and smaller tag sizes. Monza 5 also delivers a very high write sensitivity and encoding speed. In fact, the gap between the read and the write sensitivity, commonly known as the sensitivity gap, is a very critical measure for item-level tagging. And the small sensitivity gap of Monza 5 enables inline and bulk encoding systems to run faster, resulting in higher throughput and lower applied tag costs. And that's not all. If you have wondered why those Monza 5-based tags perform so much better in the field, it is because of the optimizations included in the chip, such as tag focus and fast ID. Tag focus helps to get those harder to read tags much faster during inventory, and fast ID delivers the TID and EPC much faster during inventory. And here you can see the fast ID capability of Monza 5. As you can see here, getting the TID of a tag using the regular Gen 2 method involves a number of steps. Instead, by using a unique capability of Monza 5 that backscatters both the EPC and the TID, you can cut down the steps and the time spent in TID-based inventory. The combination of the TID programmed into the chip by Impinj and the EPC encoded by the product manufacturer can be used to filter out counterfeit products in retail and in the supply chain. Monza 5-based tags make such brand authentication go much faster due to this fast ID capability. Due to such innovations, Monza 5 was the obvious choice for Taxas when they embarked on designing their ultra-small tags. So now to talk about Taxas and their products in more detail, I would like to invite Bruno Devon, Vice President of Sales at Taxas. Bruno?
Thank you, Nikhil. Good morning, everybody. On behalf of Taxas, I'd like to welcome you, and thank you all for attending today's seminar. I really think you'll find it very informative. But let me start. For those who may not be familiar with Taxas, I'd like to start by giving you a brief overview of our company, and then I will handle things to Christophe, my colleague, who will cover the core of today's program. Taxas has been in the RFID. We have developed an extensive portfolio of technology, and we have successfully deployed many customers on a worldwide basis. In total, we have shipped more than 1 billion tags since we exist. Our focus over the last years has been on implementing complete item-level inventory management system based on our technology. Obviously, this includes the UHF RFID products such as tags, readers, and tunnels, but also our own and unique software offering called eConnectWare. And we do believe that eConnectWare is one of the key differentiators for Taxis. It allows us to implement a scalable and interoperable system that not only improves the visibility across the supply chain, but also interconnect with our customers' standard business processes and systems, such as their ERP or their WMS. Also, we are very committed to driving the RFID technology forward, and to let you know, we invest heavily in R&D. As an example, we are heading the largest single collaborative RFID research and development initiative, which is a $32 million program codenamed Spinnaker. This program involves other commercial entities as well as leading academic research institutions. Products coming out of this program should become available sometime before the end of next year. So as I mentioned, a key differentiator for Taxis is our integrated system approach. We're in effect a one-stop shop for complete RFID deployment, and we supply everything that is required in terms of hardware and software in order to get our customer up and running as quickly and cost-effectively as possible. For our customer and for our partners, our system optimizes the return on investment as well as the return on effort. Okay? In just a moment, you'll be hearing about a very innovative tag technology, and clearly it is the foundation of our system offering. But we believe that our model of deploying the entire system, including the critical middleware that matches our client business and processes and provide the insight into inventory data, really set us apart. So for the rest of this session, we will focus on the key technology innovation that Taxis has developed and is really a game changer in terms of how RFID can be implemented in a wide range of products. What Christophe will describe to you is a patented approach for utilizing a very small tag with little to no sacrifice in reading distance. The key is to allow the product that is being tagged to act as the antenna itself, thus reducing significantly the size of the tag that is required without compromising on the reading distance. So now, I would like to introduce Christophe Loussert, our VP of RFID Integration, who will explain to you this breakthrough in more detail. Christophe.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Christophe from Taxas. Small is beautiful. To start with, I'd like to share an anecdote. Recently, I met an American retailer who told me that his RFID project was a total disaster. He works in the jewelry space, rings, necklaces, bracelets, all small items, and therefore he selected a small size RFID label and he tagged many, many, many items. And when these items arrived in the stores, salespeople found that these RFID labels were far too big, and guess what? They folded them in two parts. It did not read, it did not work, and the whole project was a total disaster. This story tells us how much item-level RFID requires paradigm shifts for tags and RF physics, and also paradigm shifts for the information system, as Bruno mentioned. And the good news that TAGSYS brings on the table today is that these two paradigm shifts are available now. And for today, let's focus on the tag paradigm shift. A tiny small tag can deliver a range up to 15 meters, 50 feet, 50. RFID is like traffic. From a satellite view, it is simple. But from a ground view, it is not simple anymore. First bad news, the tag. The tag is big in size. Second bad news, the tag depends on the medium it is applied to. Therefore, a tag for denim is different from a tag for a hanging apparel, different from a bag tag for polybag apparel, etc., etc., etc. University of Arkansas is right now defining tens of different tag categories. Third bad news, to integrate RFID with the existing IT systems of our customers, 5 pieces of software are needed: middleware, business processes, HMI, database, dashboard. From a ground view, RFID is definitely not simple. First good news, this big tag on the bottom left corner, this big tag over there can become very small. Second good news, this very same miniature tag can work on almost all types of mediums. And third good news, these 5 pieces of software can be brought together into an integrated and open system. And for today, let's focus on the tag part. Big is impractical. This brings us back to the initial anecdote. How do you want to put big tags on items? Small is beautiful. A miniature tag discreetly integrates into items. And here comes the first paradigm shift. The curve over there reflects what was working in the past. It represents the read range versus the tag size. When the tag was small, which is excellent for integration into items, the price to pay was the read range, very limited, just 10 inches, not good for RFID performance. Of course, the larger the tag size, the larger the range. And the large range of 30 feet, 10 meters is great for RFID performance. But there is a price to pay. And this price to pay now is the tag size. It is big, up to 6 inches. And the question is, do you want to choose between small size, small range, and large size, large range? The good news is that you don't have to anymore. The TAGSYS patent makes it possible to combine best of both worlds, miniature size with very large range. Let's explain that. And first, let's have a fresh new view on RF physics. When electrons move on a piece of cable, it protrudes out in the air something which for me is still black magic. This black magic is called electromagnetism. Electro because electric field, E field. Magnetism because magnetic field, B field. E field, B field, E field, B field. These two guys behave differently. Let's start with the B field. Electrons on a cable protrude out in the air a B field, and this B field has the very funny property to make electrons turn. And because B makes electrons turn, no surprise if the B tag is a closed circuit, a loop with one or several turns, and at the point of junction there is the chip, the very good Monza 5 chip from Impinj. Now let's look at the E field. Electrons moving on a piece of cable protrude out in the air an E field, and the E field has the very funny property to make electrons go up and down. Therefore, no surprise if an E antenna looks like an open circuit, both ends of the antenna do not touch, and right in the middle of the open circuit, the chip. Let's now combine E and B together. To catch B, we need a loop. We know that. But there is a limitation, a big limitation. And the limitation there is the range. It's limited to 15 inches, half a meter, period. This is not good for RFID. And the way it works is that the chip on the loop is energized by the B field generated by the reader antenna. Let's play with E now. To catch E, we need an open circuit. Here it is. This is this vertical line. And the beauty of E is now the range goes from 15 inches to 15 or even 30 feet, which is absolutely great for RFID performance. And the way it works is that the E field hits the E antenna, which produces all along the E antenna the current, and this current regenerates the B field, and the B tag senses this field. This slide summarizes the pros and cons of the E and B. B is beautiful because it's small in size, but it has a small range. E is beautiful because it has the range, but the price to pay is the size. It's big, up to 6 inches. And now let's come the brand new take at E and B. Fundamental point is that E and B antenna do not have to be electrically connected. They are electromagnetically connected, and they can be separated up to 1 inch. Therefore, the B antenna carries the chip. It is the tag, very small in size, easy to integrate into items. And the E antenna, which provides the range, this one is not in the tag. It is far too big for that. This one has to be found, must be found into the item itself. Let's put that into action. So can you launch the video? So this is the AK tag, label type tag. By itself, each time you hear a beep, it means it reads. By itself, it reads 1 meter. When coupled to the branch, to the arm of the glass, this half a meter becomes beyond 7 meters. When this AK tag is connected to the metal stiffener of a bra, the range goes up to 7 meters. When this AK tag is connected to the metal stiffener of a high heel shoes, the range goes beyond 5 meters. The MuTRAK hard tag, this one, when coupled to a metal slot, this tiny tag can read up to 14 meters, 14 meters, 50 feet. And when connected to a small slot, 3 inches open-ended slots, the range goes beyond 7 meters. A beer keg or a gas bottle, if we engrave a slot into it, the MuTRAK would read beyond 10 meters. I'd like also to mention two other applications not shown in the video. One is the textile thread, and the other one, the metal tool. Let's recap what we've seen. This AK, label type magnetic loop, when coupled with an electric wire, reads at more than 7 meters. The wire is the antenna. When coupled to the glass is the antenna. When coupled to a tool, mechanical tool, surgical tool, the tool becomes the antenna and reads at 5 or 10 meters. When coupled to a thread, and we turn that into a product at Taxis called MuTRAK, when coupled to an RF thread, we have a long-range UHF tag. When coupled to the shoe stiffener, the shoe is the antenna. When coupled to the metal slot is the antenna. And finally, when coupled to the metal stiffener of the bra is the metal antenna. Another good news, this very same tag can work on almost all types of mediums. No need for a specific tag for denim, hanging apparel, polybagged apparel, etc. Our single AK tag works for all, like this Swiss knife, multiple functions with a single unique device. It all starts with ink, conductive ink which contains metal inside. We can print a line with that ink, and this line is a metal line. Therefore, it's a good e-antenna, and coupled with our AK, those two together can read beyond 5 or 10 meters. And printing is very flexible. We can customize easily printed antennas. We can print on demand. Let's put that into actions with 3 different items RF-wise: paper, leather, and glass. Because of the law of physics, an e-antenna on paper must be 6 inches long. On leather, 5 inches long. On glass, 4 inches long. The e-antenna depends on the medium it is applied on. That is why University of Arkansas is defining right now so many label categories. And the beauty of our concept is to have a single AK tag with many customized printed antennas which can be easily customized. In conclusion, on the tag and this RF side, these two tags down here, the AK tag and the MuTRAK, are champion item level tags. Champions because very small in size, because very large read range, and because they are working on almost all types of items. Let's have a highlight on the metal slot tag. Our MuTRAK is 7 by 7 mil in size, which means that it is 1/10 of an American 1 cent coin. And when combined, this tiny small MuTRAK, when combined on a 6-inch long slot, we get a range beyond 14 meters, 50 feet, 50. When combined with a 3-inch long slot, open-ended slot this one, we get a range beyond 7 meters, 25 feet. Therefore, we at Taxis, we see this MuTRAK plus metal slot as the solution for metal item source tagging. And we have benchmarked competitive metal tags, and here are the outcomes. Our MuTRAK is 6 times smaller in size. In range, our MuTRAK is 5 times larger, and in cost, we are 4 times lower. With all this innovation flowing, Taxis also needs to remind the world of our IP surrounding what we call the stiletto patent. The stiletto patent covers all aspects we have seen together: the metal slot, the shoe, the tool, the glass, the bra, etc. And this IP is here to offer you new technology solutions to grow our business.
Okay, thank you very much, Christophe. I hope you found this information interesting, and we'll be very happy to answer all your questions. But before we start the Q&A session, I would like to do a quick summary of today's key points. First, we believe at Taxys that the innovation in RFID technology that you've just heard about will drive a wide range of new opportunities to enable products and material to be RFID compliant. Then, while the RFID technology is at the heart of those systems, we do believe that it takes a complete interoperable system to realize the full potential of the technology. And again, this is where we believe Taxys stand apart in the RFID industry. Finally, I would like to thank Impinj for organizing this webinar. We are very pleased to be continuing our long-standing historical relationship with Impinj, which I know many of you have benefited from. And finally, I want you to know that we're looking for partners all around the world for bringing this technology to market. And our system approach is a great opportunity for our partner to bring added value to their customers. So thank you very much for attending, and now I let the speakerphone to Nikhil.
Thank you, Bruno. We're now starting our question and answer session. Now, before we get started here, I'd like to remind you that if you have a question, you can type it into the question box. In the event that we're unable to answer your question during this call, which we'll spend another 5 minutes on this. If you cannot answer it during this time, we'll follow up with you offline. All right, so I'm now going to start reading off some of these questions. We have many people asking if this presentation will be available to them. So the answer is yes. Impinj will be posting the presentation, a recording of this webinar, as well as the video that you saw from Taxas on our website, and we'll be following up with you over email as soon as we post it there. Okay. So the next question is, do you have any pricing information about these tags? I guess I'll direct it to Bruno.
Okay. Yes, obviously, of course, we've got pricing information. Prices for the MuTRAK, the little 7x7 tag, obviously depends on volume, but I can give you a range. The range of the MuTRAK is between 20 cents to 50 cents, depending on volume. Now, it's very important to note that those pricing I'm giving you, includes the right to use our IP. So you can purchase the tags, and then you can use them, for example, on the metal slot. And we've got instruction, what size should be the metal slot and so on to go with the tag. So through buying the tag, you buy the right to use the IP.
Okay. Next question, is there any requirement on the size of the metal? Any effects based on the size of the metal that it's placed on?
Yeah, Christophe answering this one. The ideal metal length is half a wavelength, 6 inches. So a slot, if we have a full slot surrounded by metal, it should be 6 inches. If we take half of that, and it is open-ended, which means that one part will not be surrounded by metal, this goes down to a quarter of a wavelength, 3 inches. So 6 inches, 3 inches to get very, very large range. But remember, any metal part will resonate at UHF. So even if we are far away from these 6 or 3 inches, still we will have a tag with several meters of read range.
Okay, good. Another related question is all of these examples of metal as the antenna that you have these been tested to assure a good read range?
Yes, I can, Bruno Lavoine speaking. I can answer this one. The patent, what we've been showing you today is exactly what we use in our LinTrack solution. Our LinTrack is the tag we designed for industrial laundries. It can sustain very high pressure, very high temperature. It is a MuTRAK, which is electromagnetically connected to a metal thread into the tag. We sold 5 million of them, and the read range is about 5 meters, even after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of washes.
Okay. Next question. What is the maximum distance from the chip to the metal?
I take this one. So if we are very close, like less than a mil, we're going to have the full read range. But if in your application you have to separate the AK or the MuTRAK from the E antenna up to, let's say, 1 inch, so if we have a 1-inch gap between the E antenna and the AK or the MuTRAK, still the range will be a couple of meters. So again, up to 14 meters when everything is nicely coupled, and if it's not nicely coupled, if we have up to 2 or 3 centimeters, 1 inch, still we get a reasonably high read range.
Okay, very good. Next question. The slot shown in the metal card example, is that a cut slot out of the metal plate?
Yes, it is a cutoff from the metal plate.
Okay. Next question. Is it washable?
Oh, fully washable. The LinTrack is sold in the laundry space, so it spends a lot of time in soap, water, and all the chemicals, all the laundry stuff.
Okay. Where would I be able to obtain samples? Bruno, you want to answer that question on samples?
Yes, you can contact us and contact our sales organization, and we will provide samples for the requirements that are needed.
Okay, and then I'll take one last question over here. We have several more questions, but in the interest of time, we'll take one last question, and then we'll answer all the remaining offline over email. So let's get the last question here. Is this new tag EPC compliant or just for closed loop systems?
Oh, this tag, those 2 tags do include Monza 5 from Impinj, and we get the whole EPC compliance thing.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time. And if there are any remaining questions over here, which looks like there are several, we'll follow up with you offline with answers over email. Again, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.